All right. It is showing 11 o'clock on my end. I know some people might join us as we go through here, and that's all right. But I wanted to start in the time that we said we were going to today, because today we're going to cover Marketplace. We're going to cover the consumer portion of Command, and then we're going to talk about opportunities. It may or may not take us the full time that we have scheduled. We'll see what happens when we go along here. But I did want to spend some time on Marketplace and setting up specific apps in your settings. So when you're in Command, and if you remember how to get into Command, it's agent.kw.com. The little Marketplace is this little, I guess, little applet that looks like a little house. And when you click on it, it takes you into your KW Marketplace itself. What this is this is a bunch of different apps or systems that are available to you. Some are free, some are charged. It all depends on what you're looking for. But there's a lot of different lessons, a lot of different support, a lot of different ways to grow your business, all through here, okay? And it shows you on the left-hand side, basically how they're broken down. If you wanted something that was a relationship management and you're looking to build that relationship management aspect, what is it that we have that offers that connects to actually Command? You can see that some of them do have specific pricing. Up to you if you want to do that. If you don't want to, don't do it. It's completely up to you. You can see when you click on Command Compatible, what's already in there for us to be using. And you can see Twilio is something that we talked about yesterday. Twilio is that automatic text service, and the lowest one that starts at $3.16 a month. And it's like a debit. So as soon as you go past your max, it's going to ask you if you want to do additional options, or if you're just going to stop Twilio, or if you're going to stop your texting for that month. It notifies you. We already have Command Email. It's starting at $9.99 a month. That's if you grow and exceed the 5,000 emails that are already given to you. So that's going above and beyond that. That's where the monthly fees come into. Dotloop, we know when Command first started, Dotloop was not integrated with Command at all. It is now integrated with it, but Dotloop, if you use Dotloop, that is additional charge to you, as DocuSign is the preferred platform that we use for our digital signatures. That's already comes with Command itself. I'm going to show you to make sure that's active in your account as well. And then Porch Repair. If you've never used Porch Repair, I've never looked into it, you might have a client that asks you, how much does something cost, and how much would, if I had to replace the deck. This is an app that goes right into your phone as well, where you can send in information to Christine. Can you see who's
me? Sorry.
And you can send this into the app itself, and it's going to give you a report. It's going to kind of give you an idea of how much it will cost. But I'm not going to go into details with it for you, because you have the whole option to take the tour and shows you what is available and what those items will be and when you get them fixed. I'm just going to go back one here. So again, Marketplace, ton of different things that you can go in here and see what's available, okay? There's a lot of things that are coming soon. I went over this the other day that I'm excited about. If you haven't played around with it, if you're someone that likes to farm, well, there's a new applet coming from Smarter Agent Farming, where it's going to be a handwritten note from you, but it's actually written by the computer. A lot of cool things that are happening here. You can see what is coming. I've seen Sphere, I've seen Farm, and I've seen Radius put in practice. Very awesome. There are going to be some charges to that, however, but they're coming soon for you to start using. There's no date on here, but soft launch looks to be end of Q3, beginning of Q4. Keep you posted on what happens with that. But that's Marketplace. You can go through featured, you can go through applications, spend some time in here, see what you can actually go through. Home Jab for virtual tours is available. If you don't know what Home Jab is, again, read into it. It's a great photography service. If you already have a photographer, great. If not, Home Jab's available for you. Home Jab also offers pricings where, depending on the property and listing, you don't pay the photographer 100% until the actual property closes. So you can look at some of those things. If you want additional command training, you can enroll in the Command Essentials starting at, that's on sale. That's a lot cheaper than it was. $39.99. It'll take you from literally start to finish in Command. It's through a certified trainer from KWRI, so people who build the platform. There's trainers that teach off that platform that's available for you as well. And lots of other different services. I'm not going to go through each one, as each one may not fit for you, and some of them fit for the marketing center, some of them fit for teams, and then some of them fit for actual agents themselves. However, everything is there for you to look at to see what is available. Any questions about Marketplace? I'm going to take the silence as a no. No. Okay. All right. Oh, there's something. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Yeah, exactly what Noel fits you. Yeah, thank you, Noel. Just fits what your needs. What you need for it, you use. Okay. Oh, come on, computer. All right.
Don't worry about it. I'll let you know. And I'll answer what I can.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I'll answer what I can on chat.
Perfect. Perfect. The other thing I wanted to go over today to make sure that you do have things set up correctly in Command is actually through your settings option. This is going to help you with tomorrow's documentation on DocuSign and probably some a little bit of opportunities, but it's also going to help you as well to streamline everything that you need for Command to work to the best capability possible for you. So when you go into settings, these are automatically apps that should be connected, that they're saying commands saying, hey, make sure you connect these apps if you can, okay? So if you do not have your DocuSign connected, that's gonna be your homework for today. I'm not gonna go through the steps of that because it's a very simple process when it says to connect it. You have to follow the prompts. If you do not have your DocuSign account connected, tomorrow, don't even join. And that's just me being honest, because you're gonna be lost, you're gonna be frustrated, you're not gonna get anything out of the lessons. So your homework, and I'll say it again before we leave today, is to connect DocuSign if it's not already there, okay? If you went through our training yesterday around campaigns and you want to start to launch some of your campaigns, one of the things that it's gonna make you do is it's gonna make you connect your Facebook account. Now, Facebook has to be connected in two places. It has to be connected here for your post scheduling, so that's your free post that you do through Command that you can create in Designs, which is currently, if you did not see the message, Designs is currently down. And it allows you to also go into the social posts through Campaigns, which are free posts. You have to have this connected here in this portion of Facebook. The other portion, if you scroll all the way down, is under the marketing automation. So if you say to yourself, I have Facebook connected and my campaigns aren't going through, it might be that your second portion of your Facebook ads manager is not connected, and it is a second step. So you have to go down under marketing automation like I just did and just connect it again. You basically are authorizing to have Command post on your behalf through the marketing platform. And then down here, marketing automation, you are agreeing to the terms of the Facebook marketing platform when you are posting through campaign ads. So it's two steps, okay? And if those two steps aren't done, that's why if you're struggling with campaigns and it's saying your account's not linked, this is the part that you're missing. If for some odd reason, both of these are connected and you still can't post on through campaigns saying that there's an issue, just disconnect it and reconnect it again. Some people had to do that. I've had to do it before. Don't know why, don't have an answer for you. But the quick fix is literally to disconnect it and reconnect it. If you have Porch and you have it downloaded, connect it to your account, it'll just make it easier for you if you start using that app. And then the other two that should be connected for you to make your life a little easier here is Google Calendar if you're using that, and your Gmail account. If your Gmail account, or if you do not use Gmail and it's not connected through here, we've gone through different lessons in the last couple of days that shows you every time you contact one of your clients and it shows on their timeline. Well, if your Gmail account's not connected here and you're emailing them and you know you're emailing them, it's because it's not connected and it's not going to track it. So just go ahead and make sure you connect these. If you have Gmail and you have Google Calendar, connect them to your account. It'll just make communication more seamless for you and your client, and it'll make you a little more organized. Social, if you want to connect Twitter, I have not connected my Twitter only because I have not found the magic combination of how to promote myself on Twitter correctly to get actual business. Productivity, if you want PieSync, if you have contacts and you want to sync everything through the PieSync, there's that option as well. It's an option right here that you connect it, you sign into your PieSync account, and they start to upload your contacts. And then Office 365 as well. Command email. If you were at class yesterday or online, I said, command email is something very similar to MailChimp. So that's our version. You get 5,000 free email sends per month. You saw on the other screen where it's a $9.99 monthly fee. That's where it starts to increase if you want more emails. You can manage that if you want to. You can go through all of that. I'm just showing you what basic applets that are here right now that should be there set up for you. And then the last one that is finally through our settings through command is Twilio. We talked a little about Twilio yesterday. We talked about, the different numbers that you can choose. I chose a 267 number as I'm in the process of getting both I have my New Jersey license and my Pennsylvania license. So I wanted something in the middle. So I went the Philadelphia number. They have area codes around here now, 609, which was not available before. It's completely up to you what you want to do here, but Twilio is that automatic texting service that we have through our actual command platform. So if you're setting up smart plans and it always says, if your Twilio account is not set up, you'll have to manually do this. That's what it's referring to. If you want to set up your Twilio account, it's as simple as going over to the right and saying, I don't know what it actually says because mine says manage. So yours probably says create or add. It's a step-by-step process. What was it? What was that? I don't know. Someone said something. All right. So I'm going to check the chat real fast to see if we have any questions about here. Noel, is there any questions in here? Because my computer does not want me now to bring up chats. What the heck?
Pop under email service.
Man, you are like spotty at best. I hear every third word.
I'm sorry. Grace says, I have Gmail, but doesn't pop out under email service.
Doesn't pop out. So it won't allow her to connect it?
Grace, open your voice up so you can ask the question to Ryan so you can help him out.
Yeah, hi. I found that it was not under the email email services. It was right under the first application. So I'm connected. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good. All right, just want to make sure. All right,
Yes,
perfect. All right, good. Okay, so these are applets. You add more applets from the marketplace, what we just went over. Hence why I have the porch here. You might not have porch. Go ahead and activate it if you want to. There are more that you can add, but it's completely up to you, okay? They're not forcing you to do it. This just helps you streamline. But again, I'm going to reiterate two of them. One, if you're going through the DocuSign class tomorrow and your DocuSign is not connected, you have to connect your DocuSign account. And there's steps to that because you have to actually authorize it. So it's not just, oh, I'm going to connect it right here. No, there's steps to it. So we're not going to have time tomorrow to wait for you to do those steps. I need you to do them beforehand. Two, went through campaigns and you're struggling because campaigns aren't posting, please make sure that both of these Facebook under applications and marketing are active for you. If they are not, you need to go back and activate them. Noel, did you have anything you wanted to add? I thought I saw your name pop up.
No, what I said is I put in everyone keep an eye on the chat. If you're not on DocuSign, you're gonna need your NRDS number in order to fully activate command. We want you to do that today.
Yep, that is the homework. If it's not done, I'm not gonna be able to help you tomorrow. All right, so I'm back to the home screen of command itself. I got a lot of people calling me. In command, the product updates, which I was going over yesterday or Monday when we started this, you can see when the updates are coming through. There has been updates in the last week, so I would expect something to be updated today. for tomorrow in our product updates. One of the options that was updated is the one that we're going to be going over today, which is Agent Sites, which is through the consumer app. And you can see there's information here about Twilio. So if you want more information about Twilio, all you have to do is click there and you can learn it and go through it, okay? But we're going to kind of work a little out of order just because we're doing everything digitally today. And I want to just spend a little time on consumer. So it's one of the last options here on the left-hand side of your screen for command is the consumer, all right? So I want you to click on the applet. If yours is blank and doesn't have different landing pages, that's okay. It's because you haven't created one yet. These are just different ones I have created. So if you're looking at yours comparing to mine, you're probably not going to see it. And I want to spend a little bit of time so you can go back and forth to see what I'm showing you and that you can actually go through these aspects. What I've come to find out, especially with agents who are trying to launch either their website or their apps, they're not following the steps that need to go in about to get those actually updated. So I want to show you where that is just to see A, is your website active? And B, is your app ID active? So if you click, once you're in your consumer, and you click on the site and app settings, it's going to bring up a page like this. It's basically showing you the general agent site. It's going to go over the different URLs, featured listings, themes, site pages. I'm going to go over each one, okay? First one is the general, okay? Yours might look a little different, and that's okay. If you haven't customized it, the photos aren't going to match, and you can change anything you see right here, you can change, okay? And there's a Keller guide that goes along with that. We'll go through that as aspects of things. But I also want to let you know that you as an agent have options now that we didn't have before to our specific sites, like the virtual tours, which is now a link that is provided for the active listings itself if you did a virtual tour. You can add virtual tours by selecting one of your active listings. So if you wanted to select a virtual tour, or you wanted to select a listing and then you went in and did a virtual tour, you add it through here in the aspects of how you can add specifics to your website. The other aspect that people aren't doing are featured listings. So when KW first launched our websites, we did not have the option to post featured listings in our actual websites themselves. They've updated that, so you would go to your consumer and you would click on your whole sites and app settings and you click on featured listing where I am, and you would select which featured listing you would like to feature on your website. You can feature up to 12. It's completely up to you if you want to do the featured listings or not. Going through a lot of different classes through Mega Camp and Family Reunion, this was a big ask from agents that they wanted to see on their website so that their homeowners knew that, hey, they are featuring my properties and everything else. And there was pushback a little bit just to give you some idea of majority of people when they're searching for a property really don't pay attention to the featured listings. It's more of an agent request for their clients more than someone actually looking for the property. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, do I need to add this? It's completely up to you. It's not required. If you have a client who says, hey, I really want it to be featured, I really want it to be out there and known it's a feature listing, well, by all means, upload it into your feature listing option, okay? If you really wanted to wow them, you could actually just create an individual website for that listing itself as well. So there's a lot of things you can do in the consumer options here, but I did want to highlight that we didn't have this option before when this was launched this time last year when we had Tech Week. And now it is an option for you. So if you wanted to do a featured listing, you just click your selected listings, you pull up the property, you click it, done, and save. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to do any of the featured listings right now, okay? The other aspects that are available in here are obviously your themes. There's only 2 right now. You can go with the dark theme or the red theme for KW. It just gives you an update overview of what it looks like. And then your site pages, once you actually build out your site, it's defaulted to 3 right away. Your Keller Williams, you, and then let's connect. And I'll go over that in a minute to show you where you can do all this. Don't worry. And then the other option of URLs in here. If you have a custom domain that you want to be using that you've used, by all means, you can use it. This makes it a lot easier now compared to how it used to be when they launched. Again, updates that came down that we needed to go over. So if you have your own custom domain that you want to use, by all means, all you got to do is click custom domain, type out your domain, be done with it. The last part here is this app URL. This is important to know. If this is not filled out, you need to we need to open a ticket, because your app URL should be identified with you when you're actually active as a KW agent. If that's blank, there's a way that we can look it up. Please let myself or Noel know, and we can walk you through that process, but that should not be blank, especially if you're using the KW app, and if you're telling people to download your app and everything else, it's not going to connect to your command like it should. So that should not be blank, okay? So I kind of went over that a lot very quickly, okay? And I want to go back to the main page of consumer so you have an idea. And I saw a question came through. I just don't know what it was. So while this loads, I'll look at it.
Grace didn't see her consumer icon, and sometimes it's as little. People don't realize sometimes little your screen could not be showing the whole thing. So make sure either you zoom out or zoom out on your screen. It's as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm looking that. I thought the same thing, but it's literally, it's just the last thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, the listing
like
isn't active yet. Listings just went live. Consumer should be the last thing that's available for you to click on right now.
Right. I don't see it, and I thought that the window is covering. I'll double check. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably just the screen size, to Noel's point, because I know when it first launched, I couldn't find mine either. I had to constantly make it smaller or larger to get to the actual consumer site.
I'm going to try to move it and see if it's going to. Thank you.
Ron, I got to step away for a minute. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
All right. So if you're back in your consumer, it defaults to landing pages. I'm not going to go into details what that is right now, but I am going to go over agent sites. So if you have launched your agent site, which we just saw the URL for, it should be right here what your agent site is, okay? And what that is, it's literally our website, right? This is where people go to search for us with all of our information. It's also what I was referring to the other day through campaigns of take them to the actual agent site to get them to your website rather than just go anywhere where that they're going. Why does this thing keep getting in my way? All right. If it's not here, and if you do not see your configured site, you configure your site by clicking the configure site option. This is like a Kelly guide. And if you were at class yesterday, you know Kelly guide is a step-by-step guide to activate anything in command. So I highly recommend, and I don't want to do this now because it'll mess up my portion of my website. But if you have not done this yet, you want to go through this process of I want to use the new KW agent sites. If you had a Playster site and you downloaded everything, which should have been done over 1.5 years ago, you would click I have the Playster and want to continue to use the Playster site if you didn't download it and you're still using that. And you can explore other options, which will take you to the marketplace, which will then ask you if you want to join a third-party applet, which would be additional cost. So if you don't know anything what I'm talking about in those last two, you're going to simply click I want to use the new KW agent site, and you're going to follow the steps. I'm not going to go through those steps right now. That is better done in person or one-on-one because there is a lot of questions that you will want answered specifically for you, and for time purposes for everyone. It's not the best place to do that right now, okay? I do want to talk about Guide Builder, which we really haven't talked much about. And I'm going to open it up here and what it is and why I'm pressing the aspect of the KW app compared to what we're currently using. So if you've played around with the Keller Williams app and you've gone through it, some people like it, some people don't like it. I don't really think there's an in-between. And I can't sell you on it if you don't like it until I tell you to try certain aspects of it. A lot of people say, well, I like the old app. I agree. The old app was simple, simplified. We have now upgraded ourselves to be competitive with other apps. So there's more steps to it, and it does more options for us. One of the options that it does do for us now is as simple as if you're working with a buyer or a seller, there is specific guides that are available inside the app. So let me give you an example. I clicked on the buyer guide, right? So this app that you're seeing here, or this guide, I should say, is inside the Keller Williams app. It's a step-by-step process that is going to correlate with the step-by-step aspect in opportunities. So if you've gone through opportunities and you see the different phases, these steps are from the consumer side of what they should be doing on their steps in the transaction. And then obviously the command side and opportunity for us allows us to make sure we're hitting all of our steps. So if you just met someone randomly, or someone was referred to you, there's a guide that you can always say, hey, I want you to download my app, because that way we can say, A, communicate it, but B, we can start really finding out what it is you're looking for and where you want to go, okay? The basics of the guide is as simple as this. So the first step of the guide currently is start your search. Gives a little bit of information of what that actually means. The second step, get pre-approved. A little bit of information of what it means. So each step has just a little bit of verbiage. You might not like these specific steps in these orders. Okay, change them. Just click and drag to where you want it to be. I want my first step of anyone that I'm taking out, anyone I'm looking at houses, I want them to get pre-approved. Fantastic. Put the get the pre-approved stop up there first. If you're thinking forward of what this actually looks like then for that buyer is, well, get pre-approved. Maybe I have specific mortgage companies I work with, and I want them to have that information there. Well, you know the rule 3. You can add 3 contacts in here if you want to, with their information of, hey, here are some great mortgage loan companies in the surrounding area that know the neighborhood that you're looking in very well. Type in the information there. So it's right there for them. So it's constantly it's information at their fingertips, right? So they're going to see this. Anyone that logs into your app is going to see that aspect of, hey, who's the person that we should be contacting and to get the pre-approval? Well, we type out who we want to be, minimum of 3. Same aspect with your inspections. You know, you can do anything you want in here. Under the home inspections, do you have home inspectors? We always get that questions as realtors, right? Who do you recommend doing a home inspection? So rule 3, who are the 3 people we can recommend to you? Well, if you don't want to constantly have that information, or you want that information up front for your clients, you can add it to your guide. You don't have to. You can leave it as simple as this. Completely up to you. You don't have to do anything here. You can leave it blank, but it's already, these guides are already preloaded in your KW app. The only way to change those guides is right here where we're at in the consumer setting of command. So I'm going to pause there and see if we have questions of what I just went over, because I went over it rather quickly. You can unmute yourself if you have questions, because I'm struggling pulling up chats. So, or you can chat it in and I'll try and pull it up. But I do feel, I'm just going to reiterate one more time, I don't think we know guides are available. And this into the future thing is the way this is going to go. When you update a stage in your opportunity, it's going to update the guide as well. So your consumer knows where they're at in the home buying or home selling process, because there's one for the sellers as well.
Hi, Ron. I have a question.
Yes.
It's actually a little off topic, but it is about home inspection. If home inspection, like if it's going through attorney review's done, but everything's being handled by the lawyers, and then the client wants to know, well, how many days do we have to get the home inspection? That's what's in the contract and what back and forth with the lawyers, correct?
On the contract. Refer it back to the contract.
Okay, but I mean, they wrote so much. These lawyers had so much in the contract. I don't even understand some of it, but.
And I would recommend either contacting the lawyer or contacting Rosalie to go over the contract.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep. Anything else? I don't know if I don't know if I explained it enough to know, like, if you've done opportunities the correct way, or if you do them how, I'm not going to lie, I do them this sometimes. I do all my paperwork and then I upload everything and I get yelled at by Steph. But I know in the future, I'm really working on trying to follow step-by-step process. The step-by-step process for an opportunity is going to correlate into the guide for that consumer. So when we put in the opportunity for negotiations, there's that step in the negotiations and opportunity that says our offer's been accepted. As soon as we say the offer's been accepted, well, that's probably when our home inspection is going to say, it's going to light up in the actual app and say, all right, it's time for home inspection time. Here are some people that we need to go ahead and contact. It's not saying you're not supposed to communicate with them, but what this is doing, it's allowing the consumer to have instant direct information from you as their agent through their KW app. Does that make sense? I hope it does. In my head it does, but that doesn't mean it makes sense when I say it out loud.
Wait, I have a question. So this is what they see on their side of the app?
No, they won't see the things on the right-hand side. What they'll see is this.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yep, so you can change any of this that you want. You can change the order, you can change the photo, you can change the card title, you can change anything you want in this step. So you might say, hey, I actually need another step in here that I like. That's okay, there's an option for that. We scroll all the way down and add a step and click, it's the same thing, card title, subtitle, and a card image.
And does this automatically connect to their opportunity, or we have to do that manually?
No, so this won't, so that portion of where it's saying step by step where it updates, that's where we're going with the next update. But if we don't understand this now, how to get this set up, we're going to be behind when that update comes out.
So it will be automatic?
It will be eventually.
Okay.
But now they see the whole thing. They can go through each step right now and say, all right, during this step, this is what I should expect. During this step, this is what I should expect. So they have that opportunity to see, all right, this is how my agent's going to work. My point is, this is active right now. And if you're having clients use your app and you don't know about guides, they're seeing this default. And I'm not gonna lie with you, I've played around with this. I haven't updated it. I've tested it out on people just to see when I updated things, and it does get an update, an overnight update. As soon as you update this, it's there the next day. But if someone calls you up and says, well, I'm ready to, I don't know, what about the home warranty? And you say, well, what about the home warranty? It says, well, the guy, you know, the step says home warranty is next. And if you're blindsided by that, like, well, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is what they're talking about. If you don't want to have to include the home warranty, delete it. Just get rid of it. You can delete anything you want in here. It's yours. It's yours to brand it the way you want to do your business.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
Any other questions? No? All right. This is the portion of the guide. This is the introduction of the guide. So when they first click on it, this is a little introduction that they'll have. Again, completely editable for you. You can see I have to get rid of whoever Paul is because I don't know who Paul is in my little verbiage. I must have been doing something for somebody. But this is your introduction for the actual guide that goes live. Sorry, there's like a lot of construction going on outside. Are there questions about the consumer itself? Hang out for a minute and see. All right.
Is it possible that we all have a mistake? I saw Paul in my info too, so it might.
It honestly could be. They could have uploaded it with Paul because I'm like, I don't know who Paul is, so that's got to get fixed. I'll fix it now.
Sorry, under URLs, under the site and app settings, is that where you can change your subdomain, you said?
So let me go back. So when you go to consumer and you click your site and app settings, URLs, if you're trying to change the URL here and if it's not allowing you, that means you're going to have to click right up. If you're saying, hey, I want to change this URL to something else, not allowing you to do it, right up here learn more with Kelly guides, you're going to have to follow the steps through there, because there's a step in the Kelly guide that makes you claim that URL, that subdomain. So if it's not letting you change it here, right where the blue box is highlighted, under mine says Flowzac, up here where it says learn more with Kelly guides, it's going to say, all right, well, what do you want to change? I'm going to change my agent site, and you're going to go through that aspect, and it's going to make you claim, like any of the other Kelly guides will, it's going to make you claim that subdomain of what you're trying to change, because they got to make sure it's available. That's
Okay, but if I change it, it should be automatic, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, it should. Should it be instantaneous within a minute? Probably not. It's probably like a couple minutes, but I don't know what the turnaround time is. But if it allows you to do it here and allows you to do it, then you claim that the domain and it's yours.
And then that's your new website?
That's your new website.
All right, perfect.
Then let me just be completely upfront. Do not change this every month. It will get very okay. This is a once and done that you want to do, because once you start marketing, the websites will start going out there with your information, and you really do not want to keep changing this.
All right, perfect.
Any other questions? All right. So yesterday, real quick, yesterday I said, somebody asked a question when we were in class about landing pages, which are in consumers. It's in the consumer applet. So here's my landing page, right? And someone asked, what's the difference between creating the landing page and using the Facebook lead form? And my tidbit to you was use the Facebook lead form. The reason for that is you're going to get more information. You're going to get more accurate, as much accurate information as you can, because you're actually allowing the client to do one less step than it is in the agent sites. And if you know anyone on the internet, probably yourself too, you don't want to be filling a ton of information out. You want to click, move on, let me see what I'm looking at, okay? Someone then asked me, like, what do you use landing pages for? And I use landing pages for two things only, and that's my business. You can do it your way, but I'll share what I do it for. So we just talked about featured listings. And I said, I really don't play around with the feature listings for the fact that I don't do the feature listings, because I create my own website. If one of my clients want, they want their listing featured, I'll create my own website for them, which is an agent, that's a landing page. I also use landing pages for my digital open houses. I create the landing page so that I get their information. And if you've never created a landing page, I'll just show you what one looks like. It's pretty simple. I don't know if this one will work because this is no longer active. This one won't work because it's not an active listing anymore. So all I do is I create a new site, and do you create it as an agent site? I create it as a standalone page. I always change the branding to what I'm actually creating to the address of the property. So 309 23rd Street, so we're getting ready to go into contract, but we can use it. It's going to ask you for some basic information here. Agent branding, branded header, lead form. I'm going to show you how easy this is. Up to you if you want to use branded header or agent branding. Don't worry, it says Katie Bauer. Things will change, okay? That's my information. Perfect. Let's talk about then the listing. The listing will go second. So I'm clicking and dragging, okay? Don't worry what this says. It doesn't matter because we're not there to edit anything yet. It's then going to say, you can put anything you want. Do you want to put a video? Do you want to put a market snap? Do you want to do a legal footer or a lead form? Well, I'm probably going to do the lead form now because here's my information. Here's the property information. Now my goal is to collect your information. Keep in mind, I do this at my open houses. So obviously this is my digital sign-in sheet for them. And then last, where I end everything to keep it simple, is I always put a legal footer in here just to protect everyone. Click 4 things, click and drag them, okay? Then I click this lovely button called Configure the Widget. So branded headed, enter the header, welcome to the open house. I'll just say welcome to 309 23rd Street. My information is correct. Team logo, I'm not adding. Save and apply. And you can see right here, welcome to 309 23rd Street, okay? So my next thing I do is I go up top. Now I have to select my listing. So browse the listing. What did I do wrong? Search. The picture's not loading, but this is the one. It's going to pull the MLS information here like it did. It's going to ask, well, which feature heading do you want? I'm just going to keep the one that's the featured. It does not apply. It does not make me worried. Once I update it and I click save and apply, it should then update here. And there's the actual property itself, 309 23rd Street. Pulls over the information from the MLS. I didn't do anything here. It's got all the photos. It's got everything that it needs to. And they have finally, I don't know if Noel, if you're back on the call, but they have finally updated this, that it actually shows the correct maps. It used to show every house in Texas. It's finally fixed.
Sorry, to get here, I switched screens. But did you press create a new site and then on my agent site or as a standalone?
Standalone.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And because this is a sign-in sheet, instead of it saying interested, let's talk, I'm going to say please sign in. And I'm going to save it. The last part here is if I want to change any of my Facebook, Twitter, I'm not changing anything. It's going to stay the way it is. I've done all 4 steps because I've created 4 steps. I did a headed brander. I did a listing. I did a lead capture form, and I did a legal footer, okay? Now that all those are done, all I do is publish the page. Yes. And what I just did, so you know, so I typically, and I did not do this the last one because I did not create this for this, but I typically create these and I will have a tablet set up. I know COVID's a little weird, but I have the alcohol wipes with me. So the screen's wiped down right away, or they can use an alcoholic wipe to use to press the screen. All I do is, this is what it looks like when someone comes into an open house. It'll say, welcome to 309 23rd Street. They can view the photos if they want to, completely up to them. All I ask is that when they scroll down is just to please sign in with their information, with their first, their last name, their email address, and their phone number. And the reason I do this, because if you've done open houses, you know people write a certain way, so you can't figure out what they're writing. At least this gives me 1 foot up with not having to see, is that a C or an E or an O or an A? Like I got to guess with a letter or a number. At least this is a little easier of what they're doing, and I can clearly see it. It's only as good as the information they provide me, but at least I don't have to guess on my letters, if you get what I'm saying. The other thing that I do with this, if I create an open house one, I have a client that says, hey, you know, I want a featured listing. What I'll do with this is I will create an actual landing page like this and not say welcome to 309 20th. I might say welcome to 309 23rd Street, but I won't down here. I'll keep this, if interested, please contact me. I've also done make an offer without the agent, so that they can just put their information here and send me the note of what the offer is. I will send this to my client and say, hey, listen, here's your website I created. This is a website. It's an actual website that they can go in if they have the URL. I'll send this to them and say, put this on your social media platform, share it with all your friends. Feel free to send it out to anyone, because it doesn't matter who they send it out to, because as soon as someone fills in information, I get notification in my command that I have a lead from the actual standalone landing page. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but I have a question. Do you need Wi-Fi for this? Because some open houses don't have access to Wi-Fi.
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yeah,
I mean,
is unfortunate. I have data on my iPad, so that's how I get around that.
okay. So this is something you purchase for this purpose?
That, or you turn your phone. If your phone has a hotspot, you just connect to your phone.
Oh, okay. I could use hotspot. That's true.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, cool.
I have a question, Ron. Could you show really quickly, because you pull up the search listing from MLS?
Uh-huh.
I missed that.
So yeah, let me get back to that. I got to create one. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can edit this. So when you're in here and you configure the widget itself,
Right.
let's go to this listing. So I click on the listing. I'm going to change the listing. Sorry, my dog is crying in the background. I don't know why. And all I do is I search the property right here.
So you click the listing under the lead form or in the widget, right?
Yep. So let me go back. Let's see. We'll go back.
For some reason that screen doesn't pop out to me.
So this is what it looks like, right?
Yep.
And then when you click down here on the bottom where it says configure the widget,
Right. Got it.
you probably come to something that looks like this. The
Right.
first widget. Once this is done and you saved and apply it, there's
Gotcha.
a little arrow right up here. If you see my mouse.
Yes, I see it.
Yep, you click next and it should take you to this option. It should say browse listings. Mine's going to make me change it because I already picked one, but it should say browse listing.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks.
All right. So again, I used it. I'm just showing you what I've used it for. You don't even have to use this if you don't want to. You might be sitting there and be like, this is way too much for me. That's okay. You don't have to use it. It's whatever you want your business to do. But someone asked a question yesterday, what do you use landing pages for? This is exactly what I use landing pages for. I use it for digital open house sign-ins, and I use it to create a standalone website for any listing, especially if my client is asking, hey, can I be featured somewhere? Well, what's better than having your own website? And this is literally their own website, okay? So if you had a video that was created, like a virtual tour, you can add that as well. It depends on what you want to do for that specific standalone page, okay? Again, here's all the options that you have. You can have a download my app. You can have a video. You can have your testimonials. You can have a market snap. You can have whatever you want. These are the options that you have, okay? Questions?
Hey, Ron, this is Mihaela.
Mihaela.
So from my own experience, I ran 2 ads using landing page, and I follow every step that Marty Miller put out there, and I didn't get nothing. I had so many views, like everything but the information for the client, you know?
So are you talking about you did a campaign ad and used the landing page?
Yes,
Don't use the landing page.
I know. I learned my lesson.
Use the Facebook lead generator. I don't know how many times I will say that. And that's from my own experience and just listening to some other people that have done campaigns. And if you looked at our Facebook group yesterday, I shared the Facebook group that you all should join, which is Man Lead Generator. Everyone in there will tell you the same thing. Use the Facebook lead generator. The lead. So what you're doing, I want you to think about this is what they'll see if you use a landing page as a form of capturing their information.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see this, fantastic. They'll see the information, but then the only way to get their lead information is if they scroll all the way down here and give it a Facebook lead generation form. What it does, it automatically pulls it for you, and all they have to do is press OK.
Yeah.
So this is a complete extra step that when I first did this, I'm like, oh, let me do this because they'll have to fill this out with the right information. I didn't get leads. As soon as I did Facebook lead generator, boom, the leads started flooding in left and right.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions? I want to close a few things out here.
Maybe I missed it, but how do you make it a Facebook lead generator?
That's through campaigns. That was the class yesterday. So did you go in the class yesterday?
We were in and out. We were traveling.
Yeah, so it's through the campaigns class itself. So there's just it's a button in campaigns that says, do you want the Facebook lead generator or do you want to do a landing page? It defaults to the Facebook lead generator, so just don't change it.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions on this topic before I switch back to, before I go to our next one, which is opportunities?
Yeah, I'm maybe I'm just lagging behind, but I'm trying to like follow and do, but it's like when I hit configure widgets, it's got a no symbol. How do I get rid of the no symbol? Like it's, you know, the red circle with line through it.
I'd have to see your computer to see what's wrong. I couldn't tell you. There's something missing somewhere then. I don't know what it is without seeing it, so the only thing I can think of, why would it have configure widget? You dropped the widgets into the left side screen, correct? Like you clicked and dragged agent branding, you clicked. If you didn't do that, that's the only reason I can think of
that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else before I press the back button? Once, going twice. All right. So everyone should now see my homepage to command again. Does everyone see that? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. All right.
Yes.
All right. So the next portion of what we're going to talk about is opportunities, which if you've done opportunities, this is nothing new to you. Meaning if you've had a closing, if you've had a listing, you've done an opportunity. If you haven't, this will be an introduction level for you. Or if you do what I do sometimes, and Steph yells at me all the time, and I throw off the numbers by doing this because I will, I'll get everything signed and do what I have to do, and then I forget to update my opportunity. So I'm going to take us through those steps so that you don't get yelled at from Steph like I get yelled at, and so that you can keep yourself organized in your business. Okay. So left-hand side, opportunities. The first thing I'm going to say is opportunities and DocuSign do work hand in hand together, okay? Or dot loop if you're using dot loop. I can't tell you what to use. This is your dashboard of your opportunities. If you don't have any business yet, or if you don't have anything in here, it's okay. We all start off of a blank screen when we first started as well. This is where your business is. It lets you know where your listing's at. It lets you know where your buyers are at. It lets you know where your rentals are at, okay? It'll then let you know, give you a good idea of where your ratio of your business is coming from. It'll give you an idea of how your business has done from when it first started tracking our business to where we are now. And it'll tell you any of the closings that you had this month so far, okay? It's a nice overview for you, okay? I can't tell you enough that sometimes we get very, if you're newer to the business, you get very excited when you have that first closing, you get very excited and you're motivated and you're pumped about it. And then 3 months down the road, you haven't had any closings or anything. It's because if you've been in business for a while, you know it takes about 3 months. Whatever we do now in 90 days, that's where we're going to apply our business. That's where our business is going to come from. So this is a great idea, or a great general idea to tell you where your business is and where you need to start focusing a little more time on, okay? Couple things in here is obviously potential income is telling you what you potentially could make off of your business. Don't think that's the money you're making. That's based off of where your business is currently today. Probable. That's giving you a different, an idea of where you're probably going to end with that business, okay? And the reason that's for is every time that we have an opportunity from a cultivating and it moves up to an appointment, my potential income all starts right here from my cultivating. So I could have 20 cultivating appointments. That's great. You could make, you know, $100,000 off of these 20 appointments or your cultivating appointments. If you then schedule 0 appointments, guess how much money you're going to make off of that 100 grand? Well, probably none. Yeah, you've met them. Yeah, they talked about listing, but you haven't scheduled a listing appointment with them. We're not looking so good, okay? Or in the essence that, hey, you know what? I had 20 cultivating appointments. I have 20 appointments that are scheduled, but I wasn't able to list any of them. So you're going to not have any listings. So no active listings. So what this does is this number, this potential, this is your highest potential that you can make currently. And that number changes based off on our industry right now, especially with how the business is. But the probable shows you, it kind of updates it going through the step to step of where you're going and what's happening, okay? Sorry, my dog is crying underneath the table, so if you hear him, I apologize. So I'm gonna show us how to create an opportunity, okay? I'm just gonna create one, we're going to do one, we're gonna go through the steps. But before I create the opportunity itself, what's the first thing I need in any opportunity? Who knows? Besides Noel. It's not a trick question.
Contacts.
Contacts, right? I need a name, I need a contact. So if you did not upload the person's contact, you need to go and upload that person's contact. And if you were in our class Monday, we went over contacts and what you should be doing with those contacts. You enter as much information in there as possible because it's only going to make your life a lot easier when it goes through the actual process of command, okay? So let's create an opportunity. Market center is going to be default unless you're in more than one market center. If you have a team, your team will be selected here. If you're not on a team, don't worry about it. Opportunity type, well, it's going to, please make sure, and the reason I'm saying this is crucial, please make sure you identify the correct opportunity type first. Because once you have created that opportunity type, you can't change it. You'd have to actually archive the opportunity and start over. And a lot of people are probably thinking, well, what does that doesn't really bother, it doesn't really affect me. It does in a way, and you don't realize it. If you're good with compliance, it's not going to affect you. But if you're not sure which paperwork you should have at what time, it's going to affect you because command's going to tell you what you need, okay? For right now, I'm just going to do a listing, okay? I'm going to have the listing, and that's it. Client, if you entered the client's name recently, or if the client's in there, it's going to automatically populate. So I'm going to use my favorite one, Sally Seashell. If there's a co-seller, you would add the co-seller at this time. Do I have someone in here by Sandy? Steve Sandy, yes. Okay. Opportunity name. Completely up to you and how you run your business, but how I do it is very simple. I do the property address. For me, I'm making this up. So this would be the actual property. And that would be Sally Seashell as my client. And this is a listing. Okay. If you get into really custom tags, you can get into custom tags, but I'm not going to do that for training purposes. Estimated close date. Please understand that this is all just estimates, and this is how it gets your potential income. So we're going to say our estimated close date is going to be December, well, let's go December, I don't care, 18th. Estimated list price, what's in here already? Sure, that looks great. Obviously, the estimated list price is what you're estimating the list price is. Please understand that's what you did in your research of what you think it's going to be listed at. That number could change based off the conversation you have with your client. Might go higher, might even go lower. It's completely, and that's okay. That we can change the estimated listing price, can change down the road. Not a big deal. Commission rate. Let's go with 3%. All right, so let's say you didn't follow the steps of cultivating the relationship first and you got the appointment right away and you know it's going to be listed at $5.99. The opportunity phase and the opportunity stage then is going to be crucial for you. Cultivating, that's exactly what it is. It's cultivating. I'm getting to know them. I'm getting to understand them. This is the listing I'm hoping to get from them. Appointment is obviously what it sounds like. I have scheduled the appointment. I have done the research. They're accepting my invite to come over and how I'm going to sell their house for the best price possible in the market. Or you might be lucky, and I'm going to pick on Noel. I don't know why. I'm just going to pick on him. He don't have to do any of that. He's so good that he has an active listing right away. And I'm not going to lie, this happens a lot to us, right? A lot of us have conversations with clients. We go through the CMA portion. We go through the listing paperwork. and then we put it in command. I know I'm one of those people that I don't follow the steps fully. I usually just go right to active, and I do what I need to do, okay? The reason this is important, the opportunity phase, is because how you're gonna get paperwork loaded into your actual opportunity. So this is important to know which part you're at. And if you have questions about, well, what's the difference between this, this, and this, open up an opportunity. It's gonna tell you. You can just open up the listing opportunities and see all of them and see what they're like, okay? But for me, it's gonna be an active. And am I staging it? Yeah, why not? Just keep it at staging. Staging, I'm still getting my photos. I'm still getting it up to date where we need to be. Showing is obviously, it's active. People are showing it now. And then negotiations, obviously it is, well, we're in the negotiation phase, okay? But for me, I'm gonna keep it at staging right now. Have all my information, I hit create. Simple as that. So let me just show you some information you need here so that you can make sure that you have everything you need when it actually comes down to it. Sally Seashell is my primary contact. Steve Sandy is my secondary seller. He's my second seller. Select from listings. It's not listed yet. If it is, go into the MLS, click select from listing, and put the select from listing property in here. It's only going to help you during your offer stage and commission tab, okay? If not, it's okay. We can make it work, all right? If you made a mistake, well, there's an edit button here, okay? I can change anything I want right now from the actual opportunity name, the contact name, the stages. I can say what time the appointment was scheduled, the appointment date. I can change anything I need right here, okay? That's completely up to you to change those things. I'm not going to go over that right now. Because I don't have an active listing from my selective active listing here, the property that you're selling, we'll see if this works for me because it won't work for me because I made a fake address. But the property that you're selling or buying, the property that you're dealing with, that should go in this little box here, okay? If you remember what I talked about earlier about the porch, the repair estimate report, if you've activated it, you're gonna have an option here to get started. And then the seller's worksheet, if anyone ever asks, what's my net proceeds gonna be? We finally have this been updated correctly. And you can update this. And then when you start having offers, you just select offers, because when you get in a bidding war, the seller net sheet can be sent to the seller through command to say, here's offer 1, here's offer 2, here's offer 3, and here's your net sheet that goes with it. Everyone with me so far? Did I go over with anything too fast? I don't know. I know I saw a chat, but I don't know what it said, unfortunately. Let's see. Barb, Porch again is a third-party app that helps you if during your home inspection repair, it's noted that the, I don't know, the porch is in disarray. How much is an estimate for a porch? The Porch app allows you to submit the information and it gives them an approximate price through third-party vendors that put bids on what it would cost to repair something. Is it 100% accurate? No, but it is a good general idea to let them know what those costs look like. It's usually higher than what they are, but it's always better to be higher in some things than lowers. All right, seller profile. So that you know, here is where you can communicate and see what they have done through their app, if their app is registered through them. Sally Seashell and Steve Sandy are a made-up person, so obviously they do not have my app. And this is where I talked about guide earlier, where you can go ahead and associate them with those guides, and they can go follow along the process of what's going to be happening. Again, before you do that, make sure that your guides are updated for you so you know exactly what those questions are that they're coming through. The reason why I said it's crucial to make sure that you pick either is it a listing, a buyer, a landlord, a tenant, is because of right here. So in your document stage, you have an option to do a checklist, residential or bank owned. This is a listing. I have the residential side, okay? The reason for that is because this is going to be your compliance screen. This is going to tell you the listing agreement is required. The CIS is required. Consent to dual agency, if it's KWAS as both sides, is required. Waiver of reliability required. It goes through each one. I'm not going to go through each one. But this is why it's important to know, is it a listing, a buyer, a tenant, or a landlord? Because here's the documentation you are going to need for that. You're going to make Laura's life and Steph's life a lot easier if you follow what is required from a compliance standpoint. If you're not sure what something looks like, you can click on the listing agreement and you can say, oh, okay, that's the listing agreement. I can do that. Do you want a copy of the listing agreement? Sure, you can print that if you want to. Please understand that in Command, you are not editing these documents. This is just a preview of what the document is. It's showing you what it looks like. It's showing you what the form is. You can't go in here and edit information. So if you're like, I don't understand why this isn't working, I can't type on here. Well, it's not meant to be typed on. It is meant for you to know, hey, this is what the form looks like, this is what it should be uploaded, and this is where it should go in the upload, okay? DocuSign is where you do the editing of the paperwork and the signatures and everything else. This is just literally your file for that listing. So that when you get the paperwork signed and you get it uploaded, all you do then is and we'll show you this tomorrow, is you will click on the add a file, and the add the file, it's very simple. It's either a manual or custom folder, or in here, it'll say DocuSign or .loop, whichever one you chose to use, to pull that file over. We'll go over that tomorrow, but I wanna make sure you understand that here's my listed paperwork that is required. 0 7 documents, boom. Here's what it looks like when I'm under contract, 0 of 9 documents. And all I did is on the left-hand side, I went from listed to under contract. I go into my under contract file and I upload what is required, okay? If it's optional, it's optional. If it's required, it's required. Same thing goes for closed. What do I do when I go into my closed file? I upload my HUD or ALTA and my copy of my commission check. Then compliance checklist, that is that's Laura, who's looking at every single file for you, where she'll have a file that gets uploaded, what's there, what's not there. But every single one of these, you can go through. If you're a person that learns better by paper, okay, well, create a fake opportunity, print these out so you know what they look like, and they're yours. It's completely up to you. And I know Rosalie's having a class this month, I think on the 19th, to go over some compliance paperwork. So get yourself prepared. Go on the class. Instead of just watching her do it, have a blank sheet of contract there in front of you and write notes along the way. If that's how you learn, completely up to you. But again, I cannot emphasize, it all starts with when you select the opportunity. If you have a buyer here, and in reality it's a listing, it's not going to ask you for this information. It's not going to say you need this information. You need to make sure you are going through this and you're selecting that first portion. Is it a listing? Is it a buyer? Is it a landlord? Is it a tenant? Make sure you're paying attention to that, because you can't go, oh, I just want to change this now. It doesn't work that way. It's a listing. You have to archive it and you have to start over, okay? I am not going over DocuSign today because that is tomorrow. This is the basics of opportunities. So what questions do we have? There's no questions. I think that's a first. Any questions about anything we went over today, from marketplace to consumer to opportunities? Okay, and the reason I chose to do opportunities and DocuSign last is this. If you're doing everything else that we went over, you're adding contacts, you're getting them on smart plans, you're doing campaigns, you're creating designs, you're marketing yourself, you're going to start getting business. And by that point, you should understand how to do your opportunities and DocuSign. Maybe you're lucky and you have a deal right away, and that's completely fine. And that's where you're going to need opportunities DocuSign right away. But if you're building your business, yes, it's great to know opportunities in DocuSign, but you need to build your business. So I wanted to make sure that we covered that information first. This information is more compliant. John, whoever, I don't know who you are, I apologize. However, I know Christine is combining all these videos, and she will be posting them at the end of the week for you to see. What other questions? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If I have to turn it back on, I will.
I have a question. I'm pretty good with everything where we go over, like, 80%, but I'm not good totally with the app, like to send to my clients. Can we have a training on that, or has been training and I missed it?
No, we haven't done a training on that recently. So Christine, that's a good thing to put down maybe in the coming weeks. We look at where we can do a KW app training, and we can share that on the screen. It'll probably actually be easier to do that one digitally than actually in person, because you can see the screens and everything else.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Any other questions? You got me for 5 minutes before I have to disconnect. So do you have any other questions about Command in general to pick my brain while you have me? Going once, going twice. All right. I feel like I did my job then.
Well, Ron, I'm going to be the last one to ask you a question.
You? No, okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm in the library and I was downloading some of the scripts, I guess, or some of the smart plans.
Yep.
When I go in there to edit it, is there a way to bulk edit?
You mean bulk edit multiple smart plans at the same time?
Yes.
No. No. There's only thing bulk wise you can do in smart plans is add bulk contacts or remove bulk contacts. You can only edit one smart plan at a time.
Okay.
Sorry, probably wasn't the answer you were looking for.
No, not considering I just downloaded like 60 smart plans.
Just download the ones you want all the time.
So, okay.
Anything else? You got 3 minutes left before I have to disconnect. All right, I'm going to take the silence as a no. Tomorrow, it's going to be Noel and myself going over opportunities into DocuSign. I want to go from where do we do once we have the opportunity live? How do we start getting the paperwork filled in? So that's going to be tomorrow. If you have not, and I will repeat, if you have not activated your DocuSign account, and I know it's going to sound a little rough, but there's no point of coming tomorrow's class if you haven't activated the DocuSign account. You need to activate your DocuSign account in your settings. So I'm going to show you one more time how to do that, and then I'm going to disconnect and let you all go. Let's start to share again. So again, if you're in your command and you click settings, if this DocuSign applet does not say that it is connected, you need to go through the steps of connecting it. It's not just, yes, click here to add or connect more or whatever it says. There's going to send you a code to activate it as well. So there's a couple steps there that you need to do. Please, 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 please make sure that is done for tomorrow if you're attending that class. If you're not attending the class and you have questions, please just let us know. And I look forward to, I guess, seeing you guys digitally tomorrow. Till then, everyone be safe and enjoy the gorgeous weather.